Hello, hi, and welcome back. Now, it's been quite a while since I've done one of these Q&A videos, but there has been a lot of questions asking about if I could show my dust hood setup, how it attaches to the wall, how it attaches to the lathe, how the dust hood is attached, and what I've done in terms of dust collector in the dust collector room as well, and if I manage to extend the switch from the dust collector and all of that. And two more questions, the most common questions that I get, I'll also answer in this video. Okay, so let's start first from the source here, and this is my dust collector room here. As you can see, it's a little bit different now. OSB top here, the ceiling, and tongue groove walls here. Now, I haven't had the extra for the doors here, but that's for another day. You can see the original shelf from the shop here that my uncle made, and I'll store some of the rough out in the winter here, and perhaps put more shelves here for the rough out bowls. Now, the dust collector itself, it's a Axminster Workshop series, and it's a model number AW153E. It's a really good dust collector. I believe it's 2 horsepower. And just to show you here, while I'm down here, this is the switch panel here. The switch was on the other side, and now I won't tell you how I've done this. I just tell you that I've extended the wires, but if you're not certain or anything like that, don't play around with electricity. So, and just to show you while I'm here, these two here, they contain 5 wires inside, but I only needed 6, I believe. So it does look like this because of that, but again, there could be a simpler solution or anything like that, but I've done this myself, and yeah, it turned out quite lovely, and I'll show you the panel on the inside. Now here the light is not great, but you see here the main port of the fan, here the dust collector, the output, and I only have this section of the this flexible hose. It's really nice and easy to connect it here where the goes inside the shop here. So there's a this tongue groove board, then the metal sheathing, then the metal structure itself. So there was quite a bit of jigsaw cutting out here, but I managed to done it quite nicely, quite happy with it, and I mean, it works beautifully, as you see. And just to show you a little close, a little further out, I've ordered, when I said in one of the previous videos about the Workshop series saga, I've ordered all of the fittings, 100mm diameter fittings from Axminster. So I ordered some of the extra bags, which you can see here. I believe there are 10 of these. I had for roughly almost 2 years the one bag, but I've patched it and everything, so to have extra, so keep that in mind. So let me show you on the inside what I've done. Here, where the dust collector switch is coming through here, through the wall, and I've put this lovely little box here and connected everything inside here, and so I put the original switch here. So when I press here, you can see, also actually here, it starts to run, and just switch it off, and it's conveniently close to my main production lathe, which is here. So when I'm turning here, I can just turn to the left, and it's right here. So I don't need a wireless fab or anything like that. I'm not a huge fan of that, but nevertheless, if the space isn't allow you for that, then the wireless is a way to go. But this is quite convenient again for this when I'm production running here. It's quite conveniently close to my left, and when I'm filming at the Harvey lathe, then it's a few steps here, but I always need a little stretching out, let's say. So the pipe, the main line comes through here, as you can see, and we have the first drop here, and blast gate. Again, these black fittings that you see here are from the Axminster. I paid for it, and it's not sponsored or anything like that, but it's nice fittings. And all of the white pipes, obviously, I bought here locally, and they go to each dust port here, and they extend all the way to here, and you can see it drops down this black flex hose. And I have this new flex hose here around 5 meters, and this quite conveniently I can extend and hook it up to bandsaw over there. And if I need to clean everything up here after the using of the bandsaw or the chainsaw outside or anything like that, I can extend it and vacuum all the floor, and it looks quite lovely. And the next day, you know, it's quite a welcoming workshop, which is what I like. And again, it's stored here. Maybe one day I'll figure out better solution, but again, I don't mind that it's wrapped around like this because it's out of the way, and it doesn't bother me much. So in terms of the dust collector setup here, the hoods and the bench, now I've tried a lot of these when I started out, when I bought my own first lathe roughly 6 years ago at home. I tried all of the different setups, and I wasn't quite happy with all of them, apart from this one here, the my mentor inspired, the Richard Graffen inspired dust hood. The bench itself, not sure if you ever saw, again, old videos of German woodturners or the continental woodturners, let's say. They all had a little bench like that connected to the lathe. When I learned my trade in woodworking, when we had you know, like classes in wood turning as well, we would learn on the old Bratstvo Jedinstvo lathe, and it's an old Yugoslavian made lathe. It's okay, it's not the best or anything like that. It's heavy, but it's not best made lathe, but nevertheless it had the little bench for the tools, which is really, again, quite convenient, and I really like it here. This one extends from here. You can see it goes here where it connects, and extend pretty much all the way to here. Now, when I'm cleaning with a broom or a little brush, I just sweep it here into a corner. Then here I can use the mop and or broom just to collect everything. Then I first, all of the big shavings, all of the big stuff I collect in the bags, and then I use the dust collector to vacuum everything up, and that at least is how I do it, and you save a lot of you know, cleaning up the filter and everything. So it's a good method, at least for me. So I highly recommend that you try a bench. Again, it does need to be a little lower than your lathe bed here. This one is maybe 1 inch lower. I would maybe prefer a little bit more. Here it's actually a little less than that, but I have a room to move the tools a little bit further back here. But again, you need to have the bench slightly lower, maybe 2 inches, let's say, would be the great, because you need a little clearance here for the shavings. And also you can see my fingers go barely here, so you could, if you're not careful, bump into sharp edge of your tool and dull it with a banjo, let's say, if you're moving it around. So this sort of height of the shelf works for me. Again, ideally you would drop it down, but again, works for me, and I'm getting quite used to it now, so it's not much of an issue. Now the dust hood itself, a lot of you asked me if position of the pipe, I would change the suction, the CFM, the airflow, and so on. And to my knowledge, I don't think it will change much. Now, a while back when I spoke with Richard about this, he actually gave me advice. I had in one of my lathes setup, I have it a little lower down, and he actually suggested that it'd be much better option to bring it up, because he lost a few sandpapers inside that pipe. It sucked in, and even small turning, so just be careful of that. And again, to sort of my logical thinking, anyway, when you're sanding, all the fine dust first likes to get airborne, then drops down. So when I'm sanding here, pretty much all of the dust starts to raise a little bit, and this just sucks it in completely, especially when I close the hood here. Then it picks up from the ball itself, so there's not much room to dust to escape. So both of them are similar here, same size. Now this L portion of the dust hood is bolted together with the screws in an L shape, and it's fixed underneath on the bench here. So just a few screws underneath, and it's a rock solid, doesn't move or anything like that, and that's perfectly fine. Now you have a movable top. Now you can make, if you want a longer, if you're sanding longer items, then you can make one longer and store it somewhere. This is perfect size for me, so I'll just give you rough measurements, and I'll put on the screen how much that's in inches. So that's 500 mil. Sorry, my voice is not the best today. And the width is 300 mil. So that's for the lid. So you can remove it and disassemble this all together. Now the second part of the dust hood here is another L shape, which is again screwed together, and it acts like a adjustable, let's say, dust hood. So what I like to do is have it closed here, but also get it almost flush here. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but it helps out when you have it like this. So at least for me. So again, you can, if you're sanding small stuff, you can close it, and then you'll have much bigger airflow here. And if you're sanding something bigger, then expand it if you need to. So the measurements of these, again, you have to be aware where you put the pipe here away from the spindle. So I know that this is 180 mil. Sorry, 180 mil. So 360 mil diameter I will be able to turn. So if I place here, let's say 180 mil, you can see I still have enough room here. So if I'm turning the biggest diameter, I won't hit the pipe here. So just be aware of that, and that will determine your first measurement here, the width here. Now the height here, again, you have to have enough clearance. So when you close the hood here, when you put the lid, and let me just put it back, so you don't hit with your biggest diameter. Let's say you don't hit the lid here, although you can move it a little bit and so on, but nevertheless, that's how I actually determine the size of these. These L portions here are all the same height, and I'm sorry about I'm probably making you sick from all the motion of the camera. The height is 400 mil, and the width of the single disc board here is 23.5, so the total is roughly 255 mil. Again, I'll put on the screen the inches, how much that's in inches. So the same one is here, the same principle, everything the same. So I would highly recommend that you have the blast gates if you're having the multiple lathes, or if you have something like this to clean your shop here. And what I would highly suggest is that you don't have 90° degree bends in your piping. So these are multiple 45s, so that works much better with the airflow, so you won't lose much of the suction. Now, even with these 5-meter lengths, and there is another, I would say roughly 5 meters up to dust collector here, I still have enough suction here to cover the bandsaw quite easily, and picks up all the shavings from underneath here, and I still can vacuum all the big shavings if I need to, so I don't lose much of the suction. I almost forgot to tell you how the bench is actually fixed on the lathe and on the wall, and it's actually quite simple. Now, in most cases, what I would do, I always have my lathes bolted down, so they're not going anywhere. So what I can do is slightly wedged the bench between the lathe and the wall. So you can see here it's actually quite nice fit. There is no much gaps or anything, and here at the wall as well, so a little bit of precision, and you will get it nicely fitted there, and that way you can tap it, get it level or beneath the level that you want on the height, let's say. And the way I have it attached to wall is with a cleat underneath, and also with an angle braces here that support the far end here from the wall, so this area here, so everything is again nice and solid, doesn't move or anything like that. And just to show you underneath, so you can see that cleat on the wall here, and these are angled braces here that support the far end. So super simple, really not much to it, and works really great. So the same is on the other one here, and again all of this area you can use it if you want for something to store or anything like that. I just like to have it nice and clean, so I can sweep and clean the area beneath the foot here. And I still have to order some of the rubber mats here, but again, that's in the future. Let me just quickly show you how this works. So these ports are closed, these two, so the lathe and this hose here, so only this one is open, so we just turn it on. Again, I apologize if I'm making you sick with all the motion. So that's quite a lot of suction. Again, I don't know the exact number, I don't have that meter thing, and when you close it like so, I can feel all this area, how the air is moving. And let's grab shavings. So these are quite heavy shavings, so the light dust will have no problem picking up. Again, I hope this sort of clarifies the setup I'm using here. Again, you saw in pretty much every lathe that I had, I always have the same setup. Really, again, I learned this one from my mentor Richard Raffin, and it's really nice and easy and convenient for me, at least. So I have a bench, I have a dust hood here, which is really effective, and I don't have much in terms of the dust around the shop when I'm sanding. Or again, you want a dust collector that moves a lot of air. You don't want, perhaps maybe it's not the best option to have it like a vacuum style dust collector. Not sure if that makes sense what I'm saying. I think the record power units and stuff like that similar works on that principle. I had one, the wall mounted unit, record power, and it's great for enclosed stuff like bandsaw, where you have the port here enclosed, or a table saw and stuff like that. But when it's open like this, at least in my opinion, in my experience, it didn't work all that well. I much more prefer this dust extractor that moves a lot of volume of air. That's what you want when you have something like this. Again, if you have like little hood, like a 100 mil diameter, and then slightly bigger hood, and really close to a bowl, that's another great option with something like a flexible hose. That's another alternative. But again, I like this sort of a fixed position stuff. So again, it's a personal preference, and you can't go wrong with any if you're enjoying it and it works for you. Forgot to do, I'm not sure how that happened, is on my shop tour video I forgot to show you how I store my tools here. Now you see here on the bench, most of the time I have these tools here. Now, not this many. I would have maybe one bowl gouge, one spindle gouge, and a few scrapers. That's where, if I'm doing the cross grain work. If I'm doing the spindle work, then pretty much all the scrapers will be gone, if I'm not making like a box or anything like that. But 4 or 5 tools will always be at the bench like this. If not, they usually then go into these drawers here. Now, here I have, on the top one, I have pretty much all the spindle working tools, and yeah, this is a little bit contradictory, as I've just posted a video on only using 3 tools, and I'm the same kind of a tool junkie, let's say, like many of you, I suppose. But yeah, it is what it is, and please don't show to your better half this video or that video before with 3 tools, because I know it's hard to sometimes justify another tool. So these are pretty much all the spindle turning tools, and I know it's not ideal that these like bump into each other like this, but I don't have much problem with that, so they don't get dull or anything like that. And usually before I start the job, I will always sharpen or refresh an edge. So that's the spindle working tools. Here are pretty much bowl gouges, not much of it. I have 2 on the bench. This is a thread chaser, which I have to do a video. This is a Mike Mahoney signature 16 TPI from Carter & Son. Really love this thing. It's really nicely made. So bowl gouges, and this is the big spindle gouge from GURTOOL. I believe it's a 16 mil. Great tool as well. This is that Chinese, one of my first ever bowl gouges, and I have it with this long bevel and long wing on the left for enclosed pots. Yeah, so that's pretty much the bowl gouges here, and in the bottom drawer there are scrapers here. So I have roughly 5 or 6 on the bench, and the rest are here. So these are the ones that I use all the time. So used one, and so on, all the different shapes. And again, they live like this. Maybe not ideal because they could bump into each other and broken edge and stuff like that. But again, I'll always sharpen or raise the burr before the job. So never had any big nicks or anything like that. So I did consider, again, my mentor sort of sent me a few pictures a while back, a bucket on a turntable that for the most common tools that you use for stuff like this, let's say, so you keep them in a bucket nearby. So that might be an option one day to make, so we'll see. Here I have sandpaper stored. I cut it into, or tear it into, smaller chunks, and here are the discs, 3-inch discs. Here are some of the new tools that I haven't opened. This drawer is actually quite full. This one, can't wait to finally get it done, everything. There is a little hold in terms of business side of things. There is a, I would say, dumb law here in Croatia, so we'll have to find another way. Let's say for me to sell these, I would have to have a big storage with one employee. That's by law, unfortunately, here, and I cannot afford to have an employee. Again, this is all brand new to me. So but there is an option, another option that we can do, and you learn in the launch of this tool what will probably happen. This is just to show you my signature one, but again, this is the final prototype, let's say final of the final prototype, the one that you will get, and the one that I'll show you in the launch will have the signature a little bit here, and it will say refiner as well. So like I said, here are the brand new tools, never opened or used, so different scrapers, few gouges and stuff like that. So and here in the bottom drawer there are a few of the hollowing, deep hollowing tools, like this Crown, I believe Revolution, this salt and pepper mill grinder, tool rest, a longer one for the older lathe, for my production run lathe, and these are a lot of, I believe, almost 2 kilos of tools, all the different small scrapers, blades, maybe a few gouges, skews, but mostly smaller size tools, and for sharpening chains and stuff like that. Carving tools that I received, I need to do a video on that, maybe a project or so. So yeah, that's how I store most of my tools. Again, it's nothing special, just more convenient, again, way for me. It's fast, efficient way to just bring tools out of the way, so they're not in the way. So this is for another lovely job, a little a set of 6 balls, 6 plates here. One is extra square plates, so that's a lovely job. Yeah, so that's on dust hood and on the tools. Now let me show you another question. Another question that I have quite a lot is what CBN or what grit I use and what size. Now this one here is 200 mil, that's 8 inches diameter CBN wheel. It's 40 mil wide, and the grit is, again, the manufacturer states it's a code B97, I believe, and that says it's on the manufacturer website, it's 120 grit. However, on some of the other sites that I've seen the same grit code, it's usually 180 grit. So in terms of the finest, I would say it's more of a 180 grit, and what I'll probably do is order 80 grit for this side, a CBN. For this side here, a narrow one should be good enough. The grinder that I use is a full speed grinder, so no speed, no slow speed grinder for me. This is, again, 8 inch, I believe, 550 watts from Record Power. It's a good unit, nice and quiet, and it does take a few minutes to spool up. Well, not minutes, seconds, but it's quite quiet, as you hear. Once it's pulled up, it's nice and quiet. And now I had a few questions asking how I attach this to the bench underneath. Now, in my opinion, most of the grinders that I've had, and bear in mind these were quite cheap, when I bolted them down, they would vibrate more. I'm not sure why. So what I've done from that point is just to make a cradle around so it doesn't move around, and it just sits here. So it's heavy enough so I won't be able to knock it over or anything like that, but this cradle just prevents it from running around the workshop. So again, that works for me. It's again, nice and simple and convenient. And what I've done on this particular setup here is just screw down this powerful magnet here that, as you can see, collects, I hope you can see, collects a lot of CBN or metal particles. So it's much cleaner than it was before, and I usually just when I'm cleaning the shop or anything, I just would vacuum this or blow it out, and I did. just to show you, buy yesterday a new compressor. Now I wanted to much smaller unit, as I'm using it for blowing off the dust from the lathe and myself, but the few that I bought were just bad. Let's say they were from the manufacturer, from factory, they were bad. So there was a leak on 2 occasions. So what I've just decided is, and also another point on a really small compressors, is they will pretty much constantly run, and they exert, let's say, more electricity, in my opinion at least. This one, it's a 50 liter bucket here, and it will maybe for 2 minutes work, but after that I have a 50 liter of compressed air volume that I can use pretty much in 2 days, maybe 3 days. Again, I'm only using it to, after what I'm done, to blow off the dust from the lathe and myself, maybe chucks or anything like that, bandsaw, so not much in terms of use. But again, this one is really quiet in terms of like other compressors, so quite happy with this one. So I hope this video will sort of clarify the most common questions that I get lately about the dust hood, about the bench, about the dust collector setup altogether, about the CBN wheel, and how I really complicated way of storing my tools. So again, as you know by now, I try to do things really simple, or the simplest way I know. So again, I don't have much, let's say, interest in having a really elaborate and complicated setup for, let's say, storing tools or anything like that. Again, for me, the faster way I can remove tools from the bench and get it done and use another one is the best option for me now. Maybe on a wall to have it hanged, or like tilted on the wall, leaning, is another great option, but I never find that to be convenient for me, let's say. So that doesn't mean that that won't work for you. So it's a personal preference. You just have to try it out. So again, when I bought my own first lathe, roughly 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that, I tried many things, again, storing it on holes on the bench, and the most common tools that I use and stuff like that. But this just works for me. They are at the bench, living there when I don't need them, or any particular tools that I don't need, I always put away and bring out the tools that I need, actually. So that's my philosophy. I always, even, you know, when I'm unboxing things like the new compressor, let's say, so I would pull it out, I would remove all the stuff that I don't need around me, and I would put it somewhere else. So I don't have stuff around me that just in the way. So that's my philosophy around this. Again, the dust extractor works for me. It doesn't have to be, or you may not have the space, let's say. Again, that works for me. It's a really convenient way. It's quick and easy to adjust, and again, but it doesn't mean that it's the only system out there. Just have to try it out, see what works for you the best. Now, in terms of the CBN wheel, it's a great creature comfort, I would say. It's a nice benefit to have. It's a really nice thing to have. It stays flat, doesn't produce much heat, and but if you're just starting out, it's not necessary, I would say. So for years, so from the trade school to up to a point where I bought my own lathe, I always had the friable wheels, the white one or the gray wheel, and they work just fine. You just have to have a light touch, dress them oftenly, and that's it. They work just fine. They were used many years ago, up to recently, up to CBN reached the market. And again, it's a great option. It's a nice upgrade. But again, if you're just starting out and you spend all the money on the lathe, some of the tools and the grinder, you can wait a few months until you save, let's say, for a CBN wheel. It won't do much harm, let's say. And actually, if you're freehand sharpening, it will teach you a light touch. That's at least how I view things. So again, thank you for watching. It's a lot of talking in this video, but it's a Q&A. So thank you for watching, and hopefully this will help you out.